Hello and welcome to Google Calendar Week. This week we will be working with Google Calendars. And while I'm sure most of you know many of the aspects of Google Calendars, I hope that you'll find something new that will enhance your classroom teaching or personal applications. To start, I'm going to go over here to my app launcher and find Google Calendar. Once Google Calendar comes up, it looks very similar to the example you saw in the tutorial video. I can view my calendar by month, by week, by day, or even by agenda per day. As the presenter noted, I usually select month as my default setting. You can see that I have a couple of different colors on my calendar. One is pink. Pink are the things that I have to do. If it's in a solid bar like this, it means it's something that lasts all day, and this tells me that sometime on Sundays I need to release a new module for my Google for Educators course. If it's not in a solid bar, but it's pink, it is the time at which this takes place. So every week we have a virtual office meeting, so you can see the virtual office meeting is noted. Anything in blue right now is something that is on my Gannon School of Education calendar. So these are things that I would want our students to know at Gannon, our undergrads. For example, on the 6th, there's a flu clinic starting at 9 a.m. If they click on it, it tells them that it's in Yale Ballroom. It takes place between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. And they can even map it if they need to. They can email me if they need more information. They can copy it to their own calendar if they'd like to remember it for themselves. So that certainly is a useful piece of what Google Calendars can do. You can see that I have several calendars over here. By default, Google gives me a birthdays calendar. I don't really need the birthdays calendar because I don't have any contacts linked here. It gives me a reminders calendar. I don't use the reminders here either, so I have that turned off. I have a conferences calendar, which I created but right now have off. I'm going to turn it on, and now you'll be able to see my conferences. They probably popped up in locations that you're not even noticing. So what I'll do is I'll turn off my Dr. Forbes calendar and turn off my Gannon School of Ed, and now you're able to see the conferences that I'll be presenting at. Later this month, I'll be at the Pennsylvania Association for Colleges and Teacher Educators Conference, presenting on middle-level education concepts. The following week, I'll be at Mercyhurst University, speaking to their Kappa Delta Pi organization on technologies for music and art. In November, I'll be attending the Pennsylvania Association for Supervision and Curriculum, and I'll be speaking on assessment technologies there. And then finally, in the beginning of December here, I'll be at the Pennsylvania State Science Teachers Association Conference, where I'll be talking about performance assessment and assessment apps. So that's really helpful, I think, to have the ability to put all of those things in a different color and be able to look at them at a single glance. I can turn all of my calendars back on again, and I'll be able to see where there are overlaps and things that might cause difficulty. For example, here I can see that the PAC-T conference and our virtual office hours are going to overlap. So I will have to take a look at the conference schedule and determine whether I have to change our office hours or whether I'll still be able to hold them. The conference schedule has not yet been released, so I'm waiting to hear about that. In your assignment, you are to create at least 2 calendars within your Google Calendar. So you can see that I have 3 here. So this is the Bison Performing Arts Center. My daughter is a student at Fort LaBeouf. They are the home of the Bison. She is a marching band student, and so you can see that the teacher has all the show dates over here. The teacher has titled his calendar with his email address, so I'm going to copy that. And over here on my Google Calendar, I'm going to put his email address in. And you'll see that it comes up with the teacher's name, and also popped up in blue all of these events that my daughter will be taking part in as part of the marching band program. So that's very handy that I can now see her schedule up against mine, and I suddenly realized that, oh my goodness, the day we have open house, she will be competing at championships. Or, oh my goodness, she has a show at Harbor Creek on the same day that I was planning to go to the Erie Chamber Orchestra concert. Down here you can see that I have the Mercyhurst Conference on the same day she has a jazz band event. And again, I would need to make some decisions about what I would like to attend and not attend. Because this has the teacher's name on it right now, I would like to change that. So I'm going to go to Calendar Settings, and I'm going to change this to say Chloe's Band Schedule, and save. And now you can see that it shows up as Chloe's Band Schedule. So that's one way to add a calendar. Another way to add a calendar would be to add a calendar by hand. Here I go to Create New Settings, and it's going to ask me what the calendar name will be. And this is going to be my Google for Educators calendar. The description is just a sample, and location 16509 is the Mill Creek Mall location, so I'll put that in. I'm on Eastern Time. I could make this calendar public if I wanted to, or I could share it with specific people. Right now I'm happy the way it is, so I'm just going to click Create Calendar. And you'll see that it comes up as a brand new calendar. Its color is really similar to the calendar color that I'm using for my personal calendar, so I'm going to change it to this nice rust, maybe not. That's not quite the color I wanted there, this nice rust color. And I can add some events now. So let's say that our Google for Educators wanted to go shopping. Let's go to November, which is a little less messy. And let's say that we would like to go shopping for, what do they call that, Black Friday? Black Friday shopping. It automatically is going to go to the Dr. Forbes calendar because that's the default. I'm going to put it on our Google for Educators calendar. I'm going to edit it, and I'm going to say that's an all-day thing. It's going to take place at the Mill Creek Mall on Peach Street in Erie, Pennsylvania, and everyone goes shopping. That's not spelled right. There. Exclamation point. There we go. And save it. And there we go. It's an all-day event. It's Black Friday shopping, and that's my Google for Educators class, because I know some of you are probably Black Friday shoppers. We could also put in here in November the date of Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving this year is on the 24th, so we could put Thanksgiving. And I'm going to say no class. So there will be no office hours on Thanksgiving. And I'm going to make sure that it goes on our calendar. I can edit it to say, due to Thanksgiving, no office hours today. And save that. Now it shows up as an all day, and that's absolutely correct. But my family always goes to the hockey games on Thanksgiving, so I'm going to put down that there's also Erie Otters game, and that's going on my personal calendar, and I want to put that on there for, they're now calling it UP, no, it's the Erie Insurance Arena, Erie Insurance Arena. And the description is hockey game on Thanksgiving. This is not an all-day event, though. Instead, this typically starts around 7 p.m. when you're recovering from having your big Thanksgiving dinner, and it'll go until about 10 p.m. So I'm going to save that. So now you can see that that went into my calendar, and it has a similar color as this one because they're both on the Forbes calendar. So that's one task, is that you're going to create at least 2 other calendars. Here you can see I created the G4E calendar by hand and Chloe's band schedule, and I did not complete that by hand. I pulled in a calendar from somewhere else that I was interested in seeing. The task also asks you to enter a minimum of 5 dates into each Google Calendar for the month of October. So if you're going to be displaying all of these calendars, you would want to put 5 dates into each of those calendars for this particular activity. What I do with my real calendar that's not showing up here is I put the due dates, topics and due dates of assignments for my students. I put in field trip reminders. You can add attachments to your events so that you can put up the field trip permission slip with it. Those are the types of things that I would put in for my class. The video tutorial you saw showed you how to do that. And then it goes on to ask you, this week's assignment asks you to embed the calendar. So I do want to take a moment and review that, because I know that was probably something that flew by when you were watching that very quick video. Or you can embed the calendar. Let's go back to the calendar details. And to embed the calendar, you would copy this information and put it into your blog, and magically within that blog this calendar will show up. It's a really lovely thing.